The policies that they support just make life hard on us, and everything that I want to do makes life better for us.
Say policies they support. Joe Biden has done everything he can to deflect responsibility for what he's done to this country and what he's done to every single family in this country. So are his surrogates who are running for these various offices in this country. They point to January 6th, they point to Putin, they point to whatever they point to. They don't take responsibility for anything they're doing, but should they win and should you lose, they're going to double and triple down on what they're doing. So it's going to get much worse, is it not?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and I think folks that aren't intrinsically political, which are most people out there. I mean, Mark, you're a great thinker in the world of politics and our nation's history, and appreciate all that you do. But most people, they don't pay as close attention, you know, out there. They just want to make their life work. And I think they're saying, hey, politics matter. Elections matter. Majorities matter. And so they're turning out in droves here in North Carolina, unaffiliated, so the remaining blue dogs, if there's still any out there, and Republicans are saying, we've got to win big, and we sure hope that when we elect good people in office, that they remember us back here in North Carolina. And I just like to tell the story of my grandfather, who was born in 1890, but his motto has become our motto, and that's just do what you say you're going to do. So when you get to Washington, you can't squish out. You got to stay strong, and you got to remember the people back in our home states. And for me, that's right here in North Carolina, where I was born and raised.
In terms of gas prices, they're going up. President Biden has drained the Strategic Petroleum Reserve, which is outrageous. Inflation is going up. You have the Federal Reserve increasing interest rates. The chairman of the Federal Reserve the other day is very, very concerned. He is not bullish on the economy. And yet, when I hear people like Beasley and the others, they want to spend more. They want more deficit spending, and they're going to keep the foot on the throat of the oil and other energy industries. So how would they get out of this?
Yeah, they can't. Their ideology doesn't allow them to solve these problems. And I think that most North Carolinians all across our country, they're waking up to that. They said, you know, you can't change their minds, so we got to change the people. We got to elect Republicans to be in the majority in the Senate, in the House, and in 2024, we got to get a president in the White House who makes life a lot better for us here all across the country. This goes back to the basics of economics. I think some of your other guests and my hopefully future colleague Blake Masters mentioned this, but you know, too much money chasing too few goods, and as Milton Friedman would say, that inevitably leads to inflation. And when you pump trillions of dollars into the economy, starting in April of 2021, then you know, you see what it does to us. And it's not solved problems, it's made problems worse.
All right, Ted Budd, we wish you all the best. You're running a heck of a campaign down there against a very radical opponent. God bless you, sir.
Thank you. God bless you, Mark.
We'll be right back. Welcome back, America. We have Lee Zeldin with us, running for governor of New York. Early on, he felt that there was need for a change in New York. He gave up his House seat, basically has, to run for the governorship in a heavy-duty blue Democrat state where the Democrats control really most metropolitan areas, especially New York City, and politically they control the whole state. So Lee Zeldin, the Democrat Party, Hochul, they've all had an opportunity to demonstrate what they're capable of, and it suggests to me that she's not capable of very much, let alone fighting crime, and she's completely out of touch, which you demonstrated during the debate. What is it that you would do for the people of New York, and what is it that she's not doing?
Well, we have to take back our streets and our subways, support our men and women in law enforcement, fire rogue district attorneys who refuse to enforce the law. We need to be protecting freedom, improving the quality of education in our schools, lowering taxes, reversing the state's ban on the safe extraction of natural gas, approving new pipeline applications. The list goes on. From enacting voter ID laws and enacting term limits, to making sure that we're ending this rampant pay-to-play corruption that has plagued Kathy Hochul's administration. What Kathy Hochul's been proving that she is capable of doing is causing a lot more damage to pander to pro-criminal allies in the state legislature, a refusal to hold rogue DAs accountable. These are people who feel like they can't possibly spend too much, they can't tax too much. Not only do they ban the safe extraction of natural gas, They want to pass bills that ban new gas hookups for new construction across the state. They're moving to getting off of gas-powered vehicles over the course of the next decade. From energy policy to tax and spend policy to a tax on freedom. We have seen time and again, and of course, the eroding public safety situation. She is unfit to continue serving in this position.
You know, the Democrat Party, since Obama, and then with Hillary Clinton, with Biden, and now Hochul as well, they have nothing but contempt for people who disagree with them. They're used to this one-party rule stuff. It wasn't that long ago when she basically told all Republicans to leave the state. And, of course, during the course of your debate, she acted like she didn't understand why you kept hammering her and her party on their lack of urgency when it comes to keeping violent criminals in prison. She's completely out of touch, no?
Right, when I'm talking about how here we are, question after question after question about crime, and you still have not yet spoken about the whole locking up the bad guy aspect of fighting crime, she ends up coming after me saying, I don't understand why this is so important to you, which a lot of New Yorkers out there take that as a shot at them. Why is this so important to them? So then she tries to clean it up. So she goes on MSNBC with Al Sharpton, and she's talking about how that this is just a conspiracy, what we're talking about with the need to fight crime. She says that we are data deniers, even though the actual data on all sorts of different major crimes is showing not just an increase year over year, but we're talking 30, 40+% increase. So what we want right now is a governor who would say, that we recognize what it is that you are experiencing. We've seen the videos ourselves. We've seen the stories too. We have a zero tolerance policy. These are our solutions to be able to take back our state, like rolling back cashless bail and some of these other pro-criminal laws and hiring more law enforcement inside of New York City. And instead, what they're getting is this spin job that we saw last in the 1980s, where elected officials were telling us it's just a perception, there's nothing to see here, just look away. That is not the leadership that New Yorkers are demanding. And when I say New Yorkers, I'm talking about Republicans and Democrats and independents.
And she, of all people to go after, she went after first responders who refused to get vaccinated, cops, firefighters, nurses, doctors, all of whom were on the job working 24/7 in the midst of this virus. And when they wouldn't follow these preposterous orders, she fired them all, and then a court reversed it and said, no, you didn't have the power to do that. But that is her knee-jerk reaction to things, isn't it? Centralized control and demanding that people do what she tells them to do.
Yeah, and during last week's debate, same thing happened where we were talking about the healthcare worker vaccine mandate. She says that she would do it all over again. When she was pushing the COVID vaccine, she was telling New Yorkers to be her apostles. That's not how this works. They're not there to serve you. Public service is about serving the public. She's referred to herself as the mother of New York's 62 counties. I am able to easily promise that there is no way that I would ever refer to myself as the father of New York's 62 counties. She demanded that I get on a bus and move to Florida, declared that I was no longer a New Yorker just because I challenged her. I'm running to be the governor for all New Yorkers. She's just looking to have her friends, her allies. If you want to be a close friend, you have to pay the price. We saw it with the COVID testing, pay-to-play scandal, no bid over $600 million contract to a top campaign donor. Even California, no example of fiscal responsibility. They spent half as much as New York did getting the COVID test directly from the company that actually makes the test, as opposed to going through this donor which inserted itself as a middleman. So on so many different fronts, New Yorkers feel like they have a government they can't be proud of, a government that they're not in control of. And one of the best examples, getting to the heart of your question, where you turn these heroes into zeros with COVID vaccine mandates, the transaction with freedom with government should only go one way, and that's government giving freedoms back.
Well, I hope, and I get the sense that the people of New York want their lives back, whether it's inflation or gas prices or this horrific crime spree. Clearly, the Democrats have demonstrated that they're not only not going to fix it, that they're the cause of it. So we wish you all the best, Lee Zeldin, and we hope you'll get elected governor of New York. That would be a great thing for the people there and the country as a whole. God bless you, sir.
Thank you, Mark.
We'll be right back. Welcome back, America. Years ago, Obama said he wanted to fundamentally transform America. My immediate response was, you don't fundamentally transform something you love. You fundamentally transform something you hate. Each generation has to stand up to tyranny. The Democrat Party, as an institution, hates America at every level. Every reprobate who hates America votes Democrat and registers as a Democrat. That doesn't mean all Democrats hate America, but certainly their leadership. We have, as Reagan said, a rendezvous with destiny on Tuesday. Please vote. Bring voters out with you. Let's save America.